fantastic tracks right there from the Honey Sauce Band. Great release from 2017. And every time I hear those tracks, it always feels like it's still like the first time. It's so good. Thank you for those. And moving on, this, like I said before, there's a lot of good releases within the discography, and I don't think we could do this interview without talking about Supanova.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was released in 2019. I don't know where time is going, because I'm like, 2019? Was it really that while ago? But yeah, back in 2019, you released the album Supanova on Star Creature Records. Now, there's a lot of great tracks on there, and I'm not going to put you on the spot like I did before, so I think that would be quite cruel. But let's just talk about that album and how that got started.
Yeah, that was 2 years in the making, and I wanted to...
That long ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it released in 2019, which means we started recording in 2017. But I really wanted to make an album at that point, because my very first album, called Diversify, was back in 2011. So it's been a while. And so we were releasing singles. Well, Yuki's done many production work. But for me, as Saucy Lady, it had been a while. So really wanted to get something substantial out, and I wanted to make it sort of a nice graphic as well. I was really into the sort of the visual element, and I really wanted to get sort of like this cosmic funkadelic sort of Sun Ra type feel, so visually and sound wise. So we decided to go for a space theme, and because space is always cool, and I'm on a label called Star Creature Universal Vibrations, so it's quite perfect.
Very fitting.
Yeah, but Sun Ra's always been, like, since I was a really young girl, I was really into him, kind of out there. So I really wanted to sort of give homage to him as well. It sounds nothing like him, but really it's sort of, I still have that kind
Some
of...
little vibe to it.
Yeah, that spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really fantastic release, especially coming from Star Creature Records as being that collective at that point of time. And even listen back then, I do recall, it's quite funny you say about the connection between like Space and Star Creature Records, because obviously it was Universal Vibrations, and then it kind of did come across like a really like a album, become a good piece as a front piece for Star Creature as well at that time as well, which worked out really well. Yeah.
And one of the songs that really, one of my favorite recording or writing lyric-wise was Rocket Science. And actually that is one song that a lot of people ask me about, because they're like, really, I don't know, it's like in the middle of the album, but I guess people really gravitated towards that too.
Touchy.
Yeah, but I was watching, I tell this during my live sets usually about this story, but I do want to let people know. I was actually watching a Netflix TV documentary called Mercury 13. And it's about these women who were supposed to go into space as the first female, astronauts. But they were denied by NASA because they were female. And that was really the only reason, even though they were highly qualified women. And so I was very touched by this story, of inequality. And so I was actually named after a feminist in Japan. My real name is Noe, by the way. It's Noe, Noe. So she also is a big inspiration of mine. So when I hear these types of inequality type stories, I get very moved by it. And so I had to write a song. I was like, this is it, So I wrote a song about it and decided, after recording it, to actually meet the women who were supposed to be who were denied, but were supposed to be the first female astronauts back in the 60s. And I got to meet them in Arizona because there was this big space conference. And Saucy Lady, I must be in a space conference, it's a thing. Yeah. So we went together,
we
performed there, met the women, and gave them the record. I explained it, but I don't think they quite understood like what, the whole the
concept,
the depth of like how much it meant to me. But anyway, they were very sweet women. They're much older. They're like in their 80s. But yeah, they appreciated it. So that, like, my goal's achieved.
That's special right there. And I think now when I hear that track again, it's gonna give me a different perspective while listening to that track. So thank you for sharing that. That's a really good backstory there.
Thank you.
I think we should quickly jump into that track then, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
cool. Okay, let's get into that right now. This is Saucy Lady with Rocket Science.